Television International, where we're giving you the updates, what is happening at the Collation Center in Abuja and State Collation Center as well. As a result, with the discussion here in our studio, we want to sincerely thank you for your comment that people that have been calling all this while to tell us update from where they are calling from, which at Equa Television International. Drop your comment. Let's know what is happening in your area and what do you. A special person here in the studio, though not his first time, but I bet you he will do justice to what we are going to be looking at today, particular the general election, and is no other person than Dr. Emmanuel I. Shuaibu. Doctor, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here once again.
The 2023 general election that Nigerians have been anticipating, have been waiting anxiously, ready to go out there to exercise their franchise is here. Like the first step is done. That is the process of casting the vote is over. Now is collation. We just want to have your take concerning our election.
Thank you very much. INEC told us, and with the fact that they have alluded several times that they've tested this technology in 1 or 2 off-cycle election. So for me, my hopes were very high to see that how results have been collated from point A to point B, and they are intercepted. Anything can happen between point A. So everyone, just like me, was watching to see how that technology will be brought to bear. And we were eager, even when concerns were raised by well-meaning Nigerians that are we sure this process is foolproof? Are we sure this thing can be trusted? And that is what fueled, the turnout of so many persons. That okay, if INEC has said this, if INEC is independent, if INEC has, the chairman of INEC said all the monies they needed have been provided by the central bank to meet all those logistics, even when those concerns were raised. So it was more like, okay, let's just do our part and give them the benefit of the doubt so that they will also do their part. But unfortunately, from what is being, in the news, it's less than the fact that INEC did not traffic that their system will experience. And that's why the collation was not even as expected that technology would be involved, because we will still come to the collation center in Abuja and still be reading it. If it was between the collation center and the polling units, and now that we're in the collation center, anything could have happened. And that's why a lot of persons have expressed displeasure on the fact that the Independent National Electoral Commission did not live up to expectation. What I feel sincerely is that Bifology will also visage this kind of traffic on their system. They have not come out to say their system was hacked. So if their system was not, over time told us that their system cannot be hacked, it is foolproof. Announcement of somebody gave something very funny, that Ekiti results got to Abuja before Abuja got to INEC office in International Conference Center in Abuja. And that raised concerns. Secondly, because we pay attention to details, we saw on the same INEC portal that the Ekiti result was uploaded in 2020. The result of 2023 is carrying 2020 date. Of course, maybe INEC didn't check those, because you need to pay attention to details. Because these are things that people who want to speak against you will look at and take, and maybe it may be a genuine human error that was made, because of course, how would they have uploaded a 2020 result in 2020? Of course, it's not. But we know it was a mistake. But everybody is looking for an opportunity to take you to the cleaners.
Yes. And
that's what INEC, who is an agency of government that's independent and being superintended by a professor. So it's of no less personality. So those kind of mistakes shouldn't come because the buck will eventually stop on his desk.
Sure.
Yes, he's not in every polling unit. He dependent on the integrity of every other human beings who are Nigerians, some professors, to do their job.
Sure.
But of course, it is still fellow Nigerians that are also preventing some of these people to do their job by intimidation, by the thuggery, snatching. We also heard of snatching of ballot boxes in some. They may not be so much enough to discredit whatever never before to exercise their franchise. The reason is simple. The incumbent president is not on the ballots. So that power of incumbency that people usually say that even if I vote, the incumbent will still turn out to be the president.
Yes.
That's why people didn't come out. Secondly, there was an introduction of a disruption, which is the introduction of a Peter Obi, which people didn't expect. But between June, July, and now, look at the support base that he has garnered. And the results are showing that, yes, within 8 months, this man was able to go around the country. Few states he visited twice, like Plateau, came to Plateau twice. And Plateau delivered to Labour, regardless of whether the state is an APC state, and also that the DG of the APC campaign group is the sitting governor of Plateau State, who also could not deliver his state. So it tells you that people have gone beyond party affiliation, because if you look at it, a party is to help you get into government. It's a vehicle. And once you get into government, you start the business of governance. And once you start the business of governance, you don't begin to say that it is the people that voted me, because it is the state resources you are using to develop the state. I was telling somebody some days ago that there was a complaint that the former governor of Plateau State was from Jos North. He developed every place in Jos North. And asked them the question, did he fold the roads back to his village? The roads are what we are all applying. Did he uproot the flyover in Gadabu and went to put it in Do? No. Did APC and other parties not do their campaign on that road? So those are the things you look at. Yes, and that's why that's next time is coming back to. So the point is this: at whatever point power gets to rest, concentrate on some critical areas: education, health, critical infrastructure, cost of governance, the economy of this of government that are anti-progressive to economy. These are the things that should be addressed. Because if these things are addressed, nobody will care whether it is a Labour Party or a PDP or APC that is there. Nobody cares. Then I have also opined that the state governor of the A or Party B, but all empowerment by doling out cash for 5,000, and they call it consistency projects. And unfortunately, that is what they will use to do their campaigns. And that is one thing that has been taken away from this year's election. Inducement of money. These are the things that the President Commander-in-Chief saw. And that's why you see some governors crying foul. And I ask people, the central bank reports directly to the President Commander-in-Chief. You cannot take away politics from economics. Our lives revolve around both. I ask a question. Has any of the governors of the 36 states of the Federation ever sued the federal government and central bank for the rates that are high? Has any of the governors sued the central bank that this asymmetric corridors, cash reserve ratio of the central bank, or no, the interest rate is too much, bring it down to 2%? Have they sued? And those are monetary policies. And the design of the Naira is part of the monetary policy according to CBN Act 2000. The question, they say it's Emefiele's fault. I say 1984, was it Emefiele? Was he a central bank governor? Did the president, when he was a military head of state, didn't do something like this? So the enormity is getting clearer to the president, and maybe because it's not on the ballot, he felt he was going to do it. But it was obviously clear to him after the primaries of the political parties that a lot of money exchanged hands between delegates. Dollar has been stable, 750, 760, 750, 765. I bought dollar yesterday, I bought today. And if the trajectory continues and we allow the will of the people to prevail, people will have confidence a bit. Registered voters is 6 million. Only less than 1.2 million came to vote. Why did the rest number of people not come out to vote? Is it the fault of the Labour Party that they didn't come out? it is the same Lagos that there were intimidation, there were thuggery, people didn't come out. So imagine if let's say 3 million people came out to vote, let's say 4 million, we would have been able to say, okay, yes, this person won, but this is the number that came out to vote. And you can only adjudicate based on the number that came out to vote. See Abuja, see Nasarawa, see Enugu, see Anambra, see Imo. So who will you say he is the one that told them to come out to vote or not? The truth is people are better aware now, and because of the confidence that INEC promised, people believe the INEC because we don't have any reason not to believe them. There is no any other electoral body we have in the country, and that's why it is independent. But the question is, are they really independent? Because even the ruling party APC alleged off. But we are yet to see for INEC to prove its independence and integrity, because the word integrity starts with I. Who you are when nobody is watching. The buck is right now on the desk of Professor Mahmood to prove to us if indeed these things, and if you are not contesting but you didn't vote, so put yourself in the shoes of the voters at times and douse the tension, which is a skill any office, political office holder needs to learn, because at these times emotions are high. But the truth is only one person will be declared president. He may not be the candidate you actually voted for, but other persons voted for other candidates. So what do you do? And INEC is not supposed to be seen to be supported. Of course, because of the several promises that INEC has given us. And whatever happens now will also affect the governorship that's coming into week's time.
All right, Doctor, I want to draw your attention to actually the results collation. So far, there are a lot of states so many states have already collated, over 20 states, both at state level and even at the National Collation Center. Results have been collated. We've seen people making prediction, oh, this candidate is leading, and we've seen, like, we kept making reference to the candidates of the Labour Party leading in Lagos, Nasarawa, and even Plateau, Abuja, and others. These are, like you said, zones that people, or states that people will not even expect that he's going to draw such vote. But obviously, Nigerians are now more aware than before, and hopes are high. Just like you said, everybody's expecting results. But like as we count down days after the election, and then connect to the collation centers, where you see even party agents reacting to the presentations of these results, questions are being raised. Like we saw yesterday at the collation center, an agent of PDP, Dino Melaye, stood up to raise questions, observations about the Ekiti result, which is the first to be presented, talking about number of accredited voters, and then number of votes, like even over the accredited voters, and like other party agents who raise concern that can we have the numbers on the beavers that have been captured by the beavers display why the presentation is going on, that way they can see if they are in consonance or not, just for the transparency and then credibility of the process. And people kept holding INEC by its word. You said it's going to be transparent, and even before collation, INEC chairman said everything will be done within the wall for transparency. But as we count these, Nigerians are already having mixed feelings. People drawing by the results that have been announced so far, no, we doubt the credibility of this process, and some are of the opinion, no, it's okay, probably because their candidates are also leading and all of that. But I want to get your take. What do you make of the entire results collation process, and then the reactions we're getting so far?
The truth is the collation falls short of the promise that INEC has made, because it's not too much for us to have a big screen, and as they are presented, the results are shown. We're in a technology era, and you promise. So the era of coming to be reading in paper and be turning the sheet, fine, there should be a screen. Since what you are reading has been uploaded, let me be seeing it. There's a maker and a checker. Every experiment has a control experiment. True. So if I'm reading what has been uploaded, let me see it now. That's simple. That's too elementary to ask. That's one. And you cannot discount the what's it called? The concerns that the PDP agent was raising. And I am always of the opinion that you need, as vocal as he is, for other parties to get as a vocal agent to be there, because even if I'm not going to win, let it be transparent that I didn't win. If I'm going to win, let it be transparently seen that I won. That is what everybody is asking. Nobody is saying that we must all win. We know that only one person against and uploaded that they had to step down that person for another person to present. Maybe they want to correct it, because if you allow that discrepancies, you don't know how much more are coming to build up, and that is when you even may allege that INEC rigged in favor of a particular candidate, and that was why he gets out of the law.
He was actually
He was senator, so he knows sufficiently well what he was talking about, and I'm glad that the INEC chairman didn't shut him down. He told the person to hold on with his presentation, because if we don't check it now, maybe other states might. Okay, maybe that party should have a vocal agent who will see those things. So if I'm going to lose, let it be clear that I'm losing, because I didn't. I cannot be an agent more than the polling unit I am. I may have one in my polling unit. What happened in another polling unit? But if I have an agent there, he sees the process. It's transparent. And that's why some of us stayed to late nights that our polling unit was counted and the results is signed, and some people even snapped it. And as they were presenting in a particular state, a polling unit that was snapped and uploaded was not on the portal from Jos. And one of the person said, but I snapped it. This is the result sheet. Wow. Yes, that is the accountability. That is the guiding your vote that we're talking about. It's not violence. If it is snapped, it therefore means that every other person can have the copy. Upload it now. So if there is a problem, I'll show you, but you will snap this together. So where did you get the result you are putting on the portal? Don't forget, there's still gubernatorial in 28 states, and there are some polling units that were. People are intelligent. Don't play with them. They are intelligent. Don't play. Chance that he can put 25% into third state. Yes, as it is. Because at the end of the day, but if it is transparently done, all the political. Will he be the one that will say it was transparency just to ask for INEC? It's not too much.
Some observers, international observers, have talked about operational failures as well. And even some Nigerians, I was talking about the fact that some people are already having mixed feelings, losing conduct. And
the truth of the matter is, like, men came, dropped off their guys, the core members. Everybody was professional. But we cannot use that one to be a template for all, because we all have different emotions. What if I'm an agent to a party and my party did not win? Will I still be willing to sign the result, or is they also are human beings? They have people they want to win the election.
So they're independent.
They're not independent in their mind. They too want either an APC or a PDP or a Labour or an NPP extent. But if it is transparently done, it's transparency we're asking for. It's transparency. It's just like a question, you write exam in the higher institution, and are you not already on the top? I said, no, for this course, I must recall it, because I was targeting an A, and like I should just leave it. But I recalled it, and it was a sincere mistake that was done. 48 was recorded instead of 84.
Wow.
It wasn't because it was not marked as 84, but it was a sincere mistake. So imagine if I left it. So these are the transparency and accountability that Nigerians body, apart from INEC, constitutionally empowered to do the job. And that's why everybody is looking at INEC, because they must live up to that expectation. But there are areas that there were violence, they snatched ballot box. There's an area in Jos North that they didn't allow was it justified? So the police couldn't do anything. They were standing.
But what about the to really protect the electorate? You know, we are talking about over 400,000 security agencies that are out there, even though we know that is not enough. But the assurances are that and like you just said, you know, in some areas, there is no even voting because of the intimidation, because of how talks operate, and without seeing.
You are so testing. This alone has shown that the president has not delivered free and fair election. Not only the president that did that. Some other political office holders did. Some even did, and it was even a void vote because of the way they thumb printed. The question I usually ask for that kind of a situation, who will take out the question is, do we even have tensions are high, emotions are running high, low frustration threshold, high frustration threshold? It is not enough. It is because you and I have decided that we will belong Have I had voters? I tell people it is counted. Maybe if I had voted, what if everybody that voted? So that's why it's
party, like they have leader in his zone,
Community.
wherever he is, and then the co-youths there believe in him, and whatever he says is final. But because of how INEC treated them, and then, you know, some people made calls of the fact that they were deprived from even voting because they were told that their names where their alphabet fell, like it's not the BVAS is not recognizing it, or all of that. Polling units around Ukubaro, Brightway, I guess, and they said they were up to that. He said he waited almost all day, and just around a few minutes to 12 he had to just leave, and he didn't participate, and said he doesn't know where the INEC staff was and all of that. State House of Assembly, like, they are not going to participate in the process because they are not happy with this set of people that are also saying, like, I think the best thing to do is to jump.
I give you a particular case. I don't know if you read it over on social media. Two identical twins.